Yo, this is Deadman from dagbuzz.com with your buzz for February 17th, 2009. Big story today, the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009, the stimulus bill that President Obama is signing into law in Denver this afternoon. I was listening to MSNBC this morning discuss the $787 billion package, the pros, the cons, and they repeatedly referred to the bill as Obama's New Deal. Now look, I'm not sure whether this plan is big enough or bold enough, or whether it's too big and too bold and too expensive. I'm not sure. But what I do know is that it is not a New Deal. There is nothing close in today's package that rivals what we saw with FDR and the things that he accomplished in his first 100 days and that first year of office. The list is truly impressive. We're talking about suspending the gold standard, repealing prohibition, enacting the FDIC, which deposit insurance, the Securities Act of 1933 to regulate the financial industry that failed us back then, and failed us today as well, obviously. The Public Works Administration, the Tennessee Valley Authority, the National Recovery Act, which helped raise wages and increase worker rights and union rights, and even some disastrous moves like the Agricultural Adjustment Act, which tried to mandate commodity prices. The scope and scale of what Roosevelt implemented and accomplished back then was truly amazing, and just changed the game, changed the way people thought about government and its role in the economy. And there was nothing close to that in the stimulus package being signed into law today. Even in something like alternative energy, which I think is a very noble and big goal we should have as a nation, and Obama signing into the bill and the law at the Nature and Science Museum in Denver to help highlight the fact that there are billions and billions of dollars being allocated to alternative energy projects, $11 billion to help modernize the electricity grid, several $1 billion for incentives for people to weatherize their homes, a couple $1 billion for advanced battery technology development. Some interesting, worthwhile projects, just as there are within education and infrastructure and a lot of different areas. But there was nothing really truly new going on here, nothing big and bold and new, game-changing when I'm looking at today's package. There's a bunch of, really in my opinion, too highly targeted and temporary tax credits, money on military spending. There's a lot of other stuff which I don't think is necessarily or stimulative, and so I think really it's a bit silly to compare today's package to the New Deal, or to call it the New Deal. The thing that most depresses me is I worry that even if we needed something along the lines of the Roosevelt New Deal, and I'm not sure we do. Unemployment back then was 25%. Banks were completely shut down. You could not get your money at a bank. We're not there yet, obviously. We could get there. But even if it was necessary to pursue a series of initiatives along that same scope, I don't think we could afford it. Back then, we had virtually no debt, very small debt, and we were operating under the premise that the federal budget should be balanced. Even Roosevelt, in that first year of office, all the things he accomplished, his idea was that we would have a normal operating federal budget, which would be balanced, and then we'd have this emergency budget, which would be to combat the Depression, but would go away as the economy recovered. Clearly, that didn't stick, and we have continued to pursue deficit spending as the best path to prosperity since then. Now, I'm not here to totally knock debt and its role in the economy and government spending. It obviously did quite well for us for some time, but I do think some balance needs to be restored in the system. We are talking about today a national debt approaching $11 trillion. That's $37,000 per man, woman, and child in this country, and that doesn't include the several $1 trillion more in debt we're probably going to accrue this year with all the spending and stimulus in the works, and that doesn't include the hundreds of billions of dollars in new obligations that we're going to oh, the retiring baby boom generation with Medicare and Social Security. We are in trouble, in my opinion. And that's the most worrisome thing, in my opinion, is that I don't think that even if we needed a New Deal, we could afford it. So, all right. Sorry to start the week so uplifting, but that's the buzz for today. We'll see you again soon.